hang on, so what's there? Welcome to the Rock Talk Show. Good to see everyone. My name is Roxanne Wilson, and this is your time, your place to have a little pop culture fix. We talk about all the things that are trending right now in the news, that are going viral, all that jazz. If there's something you came, you're like, oh my gosh, we have to discuss XYZ. Did you hear about XYZ? Please let me know, because we'll bring that and incorporate that in here. All right, today on the docket, we are going to definitely talk about Kim K's response to Taylor Swift. We will be talking about the TikTok ban. We're also going to be talking about pretzels. You'll see why. Don't worry. There's a reason for everything. Method. We're going to talk about airports, what's appropriate inside of a plane and what is not. And also the new ban that might impact the way you work. Are you listening while you work? That's not the thing, but let's go ahead and dive in. And thank you again for sharing this out to people that you know. Kenesha, thank you for sharing it to your friends. I appreciate that. If you are on the Rube, I always encourage you to come on over to TikTok, because we are doing it live there, and you can respond and all that jazz. All right, let's go ahead and talk about really quickly. Let's just we gotta give Kim Kardashian her moment. I'm not going to talk about her Jimmy Kimmel nonsense thing, but I am going to talk about this. If you listen to Taylor Swift's Tortured Poets Department, I always want to say Poet Society, like the Poet Society, but if you listen to that, there was a song called Thank You, Amy, that basically put Kim on blast for all that she did. Now, some people have been saying, get over it, Taylor. That was 10 years ago. I don't think that's the right approach, honestly. I think, first of all, she said, these are thoughts that I had moments in time. So the song comes out now. It's coming out now because she's healed completely. But hi, Carla, it's good to see you. What I think is interesting is it was a beautifully written song. It just gets you. Well, allegedly, People Magazine says Kim has basically said through her people that the beef is squashed, and she wishes that Taylor would just get over it. Here's my question about that. If you're the person that did the wronging, can you actually have the right to say it's over and done with? If you're the one who should be apologizing, can you say, oh, we're over it? I don't know if you can. I kind of think that if you're the one in the wrong, you've just got to eat your humble pie until the person who's wrong says it's squash, which I kind of like that song does say it's squash. So I think it's really interesting. And I also think that as society, we can't sit here and go, you should be over it by now, Kim. You should be over it. Kind of like what's happening with Ariana. If you watch Vanderpump Rules, her friends are like, get over it. Although it was filmed months after it happened. It's do you have a right to say that someone should get over it beforehand? I don't think that you do. I think you have to let the person go through what they're going through, and they decide when they're over it. I'm just saying. Me. Sipping on my matcha tea, which I am just. Thank you, Starbucks, for making me in love with matcha tea. Now I make my own at home because it's less expensive. Just saying. Okay. All right. So let us go on to the next thing, which is just a PSA. Let me go ahead and put that on the screen. Oh my goodness. Let me get the image on the screen for those of you who are on TikTok. If you're not on TikTok, my apologies. I can't be everywhere and everyone to everything, but I do love you. All right. Take a look at this. I just want you to know, if you like pretzels, what store do you love your pretzels from? I'll admit to you, my pretzel store of fancy is actually not Wetzel's Pretzels. But on Friday, it happens to be National Pretzel Day, and Wetzel's Pretzels are giving away free pretzels after 3 o'clock, one per person, if you like the Wetzel's Pretzels. I've had them before, but Amy's, is it Amy's, Aunt Amelia's, Aunt Amy's, Aunt whomever, you get the almond, oh my gosh, the almond pretzel from Annie Ann's. I know some people are like, it's Annie Ann's, Roxanne. Those happen to be the best pretzels. I'm just saying. They're delicious. There's a little sweetie, and it's like almond. You wouldn't think you're like almond? Trust. But in the meantime, if you want a free pretzel, Friday, mark your calendar, 3 p.m., go to Wetzel's Pretzels. They're giving away a free pretzel, one per person. So if you want to, you might need to go ahead and grab another person to make that happen. I won't judge you. Listen, free food is sometimes best food. I'm not going to lie. Do you agree? I think we can all agree on this. So do you remember when the new glasses, that vision thing came from Apple that came out. Like, we've got our version of the goggles, essentially. Well, the goggles have been a major not going over well. In fact, literally the reviews have been, well, the half of what they thought they've sold. So Apple, which I love me some Apple, I love me Apple. They are scaling down with all things. They're like, okay, we got to dial this in. We're going to scale it back. And they've decided to, listen, I just don't know who among us, and I wore glasses for years and I don't mind wearing my readers, but who among us wants to put goggles? I've never skied or done any of those sports with those big goggles, but who wants to put that on their head and walk around? Like, whatever you're looking at has to be really good. Hi, Brandy. It's good to see you. Has to be really good to want to put those Apple Vision glasses or any of those glasses on. It just feels like it would be heavy and annoying. So am I surprised that it's a dud? I am not surprised it's a dud. I'm glad they realized it. Why? You know what Apple should spend their time on? Apple, this is what I want you to spend your time on. Spend your time on making oh my goodness, thank you so much. Howdy, partner. Thank you very much. You might be wondering what just happened over there if you're on the tube. But I just got a cowboy hat and a mustache. Thank you, partner. I appreciate that very much. By the way, those of you who are on here, Brandy, don't forget, is going to be going live today at, I believe, 2 p.m. Pacific time. No, I did that wrong. 2 p.m. her time, which is Eastern time, 11 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you so much for the team heart. I appreciate that. Okay, so Apple, spend time on your earpods because your earpods stink. Make better earpods that don't have to run off to somewhere else. Okay, listen, I got to show you this. There's some things you need to see. I am not a weather woman, but I wish I had a little green screen to show you this. I'm just going to give you a public service announcement so you're prepared. We are getting ready for the hottest summer they say we have. Oh, it'll be later. What time is it going to be, Brandy? Let me know what time. Okay. Apparently, if you think you've seen hot, it's going to be even hotter this year. I'm warning you now. They're letting the world know if you're in the US of A. It's going to be hot. I just moved to Arizona, so I do not love this news. This news is not happy for me. But I'm just letting you, I am not a weather person, 3-ish. She's going to be on 3-ish Pacific, Eastern time. Okay, so that's 12. Okay, I can work that out. Giving y'all the warning. Like, literally, I'm going to make this picture a little bigger if it'll let me on the tiki-taki. Do you see that? Those are the areas that are going to be above their normal weather, basically a good chunk of the country. If you go all the way up to Texas and you make like an angle all the way up kind of north, south, wait, what's that? Southwest, southeast? Oh my gosh, northwest. I can do this, I promise. It's going to be like blazing hot, but everyone is going to be above. Basically, the orange is like it's higher than it's normal. I'm just letting y'all know this so you can make plans. You're welcome. I'm not a weather woman. We need to talk about, before we talk about the TikTok ban, let's talk about this. Does this bother you in any way? This is a picture that somebody took allegedly on a plane, allegedly, okay? There was a couple. They had three seats. Oh, I don't know, maybe they had 2 seats. They were literally like enwrapped in each other. Like the guy is there and the woman is like, just imagine like a pretzel, since we were talking about pretzels earlier, of legs barefoot on the plane. And they're just wrapped all around each other. And she's like, he must be laying on his on his back, and she's like in between his legs. Does that bother you? Does that bother anyone? If you saw that on a plane, would that bother you? It has caused so much drama for so many different reasons. Brandy Buckles goes, geez. So many different reasons that has caused a lot of drama. Now, number one, flight attendants have come out and said, listen, that's just not safe because you can't buckle up in time. I don't think people are worried about buckling up in time. It is important to buckle up on a plane. I'm not saying it's not, but do you ever not buckle up on a plane? Sometimes I just hide it. I just don't. Listen, it's just what I do. Or I unbuckle really quickly because I just want to get out. Okay, but one of the reasons people have a problem with it is that. Another is that they're barefoot. Is it gross to be barefoot on a plane? I'm curious. I've worn slides on a plane before. I've worn flip flops on a plane before. Does that mean I'm barefoot or almost barefoot? Apparently, there's a big group of people that say it's inappropriate to be barefoot on a plane. Now, barefoot completely, I understand because their feet are literally barefoot in the seat. I don't want to sit on their foot nonsense. And they've got one foot that's kind of on the tray. They do look really clean. I agree, Brandy, which is why I think this is not a real picture. I feel like that was doctored because they look super, like these people look like models and the plane looks really clean too. I'm glad you noticed that because I'm like, But the other thing is PDA. How do we feel about PDA? Is PDA okay these days? Like if you see two people enthralled on top of each other, like just, they're not necessarily going at it, but they're like cuddling. Is that appropriate? And is a plane a public place or I have so many questions. Is a plane a public place? Well, yes. Or is your aisle like privacy? Is it okay for you to be private in your own aisle? As long as you're not like taking out any body parts you should. These are things I need to know. I'm going to let y'all ponder that. This is like your ponder for the moment. And now I'm getting hot. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Oh, my fan is in the other room because I was using it. My neck fan. I'm just something to think about. Like now I'm like, okay. But if it's summertime, listen, it's a lot easier to wear slides if you're going through TSA, first of all. Put up a curtain. I love that. Or don't look. Yeah. Brian's like, just don't look. Listen, I don't know if I have a problem with, as long as their feet aren't smelly and they're not touching me. We already know planes are gross, right? I will say there used to be a time and a place where people would dress up to go on flights, right? You get dressed up to go on flights. That is not the case anymore. So we have come to this point where we're not doing all that jazz. I prefer this than people getting mad at each other on a plane. They definitely probably needed a nap. I agree with that, Brandy. So maybe they needed a nap. Maybe they did. I just kind of think that like we should stop sweating the small stuff. There are a lot of bigger things we could be sweating. Why sweat this? They're not bothering anybody. They're, what we should be maybe perhaps sweating is, I don't know. The fact that our government has banned is just about banning TikTok. Now, a couple things. Some people don't remember conjunction junction, what's your Schoolhouse Rock. So some people thought the ban was last week. Some people think the ban was yesterday. None of those are true. The bill does not become a law until the president signs it. He has said that he's going to sign it today. Julie, hello. When are we going live this week? He says today he's probably going to sign it. I don't think it's about TikTok. We know it's not about TikTok. It's about the aid that's attached to it that he's going to sign it so quickly. But the witch is getting signed. Also, there are some videos floating around of some congressmen saying, "Thank you so much for my team heart. I appreciate that. Thank you, Julie." That the reason that they want TikTok gone is because they don't like the fact that our young people, I'm going to put this in air quotes, are getting their news from TikTok. Listen, this is my note and my message to Congress. You got to come up with a better reason. Oh, we can do it tonight. Let me know. Let me know what time. You're listening to message me. You can message me. You got to back to Congress. This is where I need like another camera where I just look straight into the camera. You need to come up with a better reason than you don't want kids getting their news from TikTok to ban it. I'm also hearing people say that it's creating rhymes with momunism, like it's causing us to want to be momunists. And I shouldn't defame moms like that. I'm like, okay, first of all, let's start. If you don't want kids, and kids, I hope you understand, young people and kids are two different things, right? If you don't want 18 and unders on a platform, then do a restriction with that. I know a lot of people feel like social media is wrecking teenagers. I don't have an opinion about that either way because I've not done enough research on it. But what I would say, exactly, what I would say is then restrict that. If you don't, and the thing about like not wanting young people to get their news from TikTok, this tells me that they've not spent enough time looking at TikTok because literally, I can go on TikTok. I see as many conservative viewpoints as I see. What's the other one called? What is it? What is it? Conservative and not progressive. What's it? Liberal? What is wrong with me? I see them both. I see them both. Do you know that there is a entire community of TikTok Christians? All the young TikTok Christians that have their own, they are making cabbage like no one's business, but they are huge on TikTok. Do we know this? Like, I'm just saying to myself, there's everything on TikTok. There's pro this and anti this. So when people say we don't want them getting their news on here, they can actually find a variety of news. It is a lot easier to be elsewhere. Wait, can't have, they don't want, Randy's like, they don't want people to have side hustles. I think that's true. Can't have, wait, no straws? Wait, is this, can I not have this really? You're joking, but I know you're joking. She's joking. It's just wild to me and it's annoying to me and I'm not having it. Like, this is not that I can do anything about it. Yeah, there's other places like Rap Nat that I'm, why this one? I've heard that Nap Rat is, she's saying it's far worse. I've heard that. You do have diversity on this platform. Wait, I'm not allowed to have food and drink? Wait, am I not supposed to be doing this? Wait, what's happening? Both of you said that. Wait, what? Is it bad that I did that? I was doing this too. Tell me more, ladies. Anyhow, I'm irritated with a big capital I on this nonsense. It's going to take some time, however. And I had people texting me, messaging me yesterday going, oh my gosh, jump in. It's going to take some time. Is this going to stop my activity on TikTok? No. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. It's not stopping it because it'll take at least, I say, a year. And in that year, what can you accomplish on TikTok? Okay, bananas for food? Is that what we're saying? Should I not be showing my food? I took a sip off it. I know it. I count bananas for food. Well, let me just behave then. Anyhow, alas, if you're on YouTube, I'm going to go now. I'm going to go now, but I'm going to stay on TikTok. The rant is continuing over there, and we have other things to talk about. Thank you for being here with me, YouTube. I got to respond. I got to make sure I'm understanding what everyone's telling me on TikTok. I will see you later. Go be great. P.S. And by the way, come over on here. Rock Sox Show. The water's warm at least for a year, so we're going to have a good time. See you guys later. Okay. I'm confused.